Okay? So again inventories, reported yan as a separate line item, in particular under current assets. Okay? Now, include, exclude problem. Okay, number 3. So aside from the nature of inventory, so nakita natin yung nature niyan as defined in PAS number 2 dun sa question number 1. So dun naman sa particular items na isasama sa inventory as a general rule, okay, following the legal test, owned, include. Not owned, exclude. So syempre para masabing assets, dapat owned yan. Okay? So pagka owned, include. Pag not owned, exclude. Okay? So of course, merong exception dyan sa general rule na yan. Pero generally kung owned, include. Kung not owned, exclude. So in number 3, consider the definition of inventories. And yun nga, yung owned, include, not owned, exclude. Kaya legal test. Okay? So include, exclude the requirement, inventory. So yung ire-report na inventories under current assets. Okay, so include, exclude, materials on hand, include. So the entity is a manufacturing company. So kaya meron siyang materials, goods in process, yan, finished goods. Materials in transit. So kapag in transit, relevant dyan yung shipment terms. So para malaman natin kung sinong owner. So again, owned, include. Not owned, exclude. Okay, terms, FOB, shipping point. Okay, so kapag FOB shipping point while in transit, sinong owner dyan? Buyer. So, owned na yan by the entity is the buyer. So, owned na yan ng entity while in transit. So, include. Okay, materials in transit. Okay, terms, FOB destination. So kapag FOB destination, sino ang owner while in transit? Still the seller. So the entity is the buyer, so exclude. Not owned. So hindi pa yan owned while in transit. Okay, advances for materials ordered, exclude. Okay, advances yan to suppliers. So, pwede siyang i-report as part of trade and other receivables. Doon siya sa others. Kaya lang, kaya ako I prefer na i-report siya as other current assets. So, pwede siyang trade and other receivables as other receivables o kaya other current assets. Yan. So, advances to suppliers. Okay, goods in process include. Finished goods in factory include. Finished goods in company-owned retail stores include. Kaya lang yung amount may kasamang profit. Okay? So tanggalin natin yung profit. Okay? Dapat at cost. Okay? So yung 750, itong 750 daw, may kasamang 50% profit. Ang basis ng profit, cost. So kaya itong 750 na ito ay 150%. So i-divide natin to by 1.5. So divide by 1.5. So 750,000 divide by 1.5. Yan. So i-divide mo siya ng 1.5. So at cost, okay, so that's 500,000. So include. Okay. Next, finished goods in the hands of consignee. So the entity is the consignor. So sino ang owner of goods on consignment? Yung consignor. So the entity is the consignor. Include. Okay, kaya lang yung amount may kasamang profit. This time yung basis naman ng profit, sales. So kung 40% ang profit, 60% ang cost. So times 0.6. So 400,000 times 0.6 at cost 240. Include. And 240. Okay. Goods held on consignment. The entity is the consignee. Exclude. Okay. So again, owned, include. Ito, not owned, exclude. So, owned yan by the consignor, not the entity. Okay, finished goods in transit to customer. So again, kapag in transit, we need to check the terms. Okay, so this one is FOB seller. So ano ba yung FOB seller? Free on board place of seller. So meaning kung libre lang hanggang sa place ni seller. Kaya from seller to buyer, ang magbabayad na ng freight yung kay buyer. So kaya FOB seller is the same as FOB shipping point. Okay? So dahil FOB shipping point yan, while in transit, considered sold na yan. So sino nang owner dyan? Buyer. The entity is the seller. So exclude. Not owned. Sold already. So sold na yan while in transit. Okay, finished goods in transit to customers. Terms, FOB buyer. So syempre kung FOB seller ay shipping point, FOB buyer is FOB destination. Okay? Kasi free on board hanggang dun sa place ng buyer. Okay? So kaya sinong owner dyan while in transit? Seller. Unsold pa yan. So dahil unsold pa, include. Okay? So again FOB seller is FOB shipping point. Minsan tawag FOB origin. So yung FOB buyer is FOB destination. Okay, unsaleable finished goods. So unsaleable, di na bibebenta yan, exclude. At kung wala nang marirecover yan, treat that as loss. Office supplies, exclude. To be considered as inventory, dapat gagamitin siya in the production process or in the rendering of services. So yung office supplies, kay reported yan as supplies and prepayments or pwede rin dun sa other current assets. So other current assets. Supplies. Advertising catalogs and shipping boxes, exclude. Okay, so similar dun sa office supplies. So again, to be considered as inventory, dapat gagamitin in the production process. Okay, so kaya yung office supplies, advertising catalogs and shipping boxes, reported yan as other current assets. Okay, o kaya supplies. Okay, get the total? So total amount to be reported as inventories. Okay, number 3, letter A. So yan yung makikita natin as line item, inventories. Tapos yung composition yan as to materials, goods in process, finished goods. So nandun na sa notes yan, yung composition. Okay, so yan ganyan yung mga common problem. Include, exclude problem. Okay, next. Another include, exclude problem. Kaya lang this time,